Hey losers, I'm Coral. Welcome to my channel. If you're joining me for the first time, I like to read things that are sinister and dark. So if you're into that, welcome to the party. I am here today with the books that I'm hoping to read in September before Halloween-a-thon starts, which is September 22nd. Are you doing Halloween-a-thon with me? Please say yes. So I've got a couple things here, but I don't know if I'll get to everything. It's kind of the same amount that I usually plan for in a month, but I do tend to also pick up other things throughout the month too, so I really don't know exactly what I will get finished, especially because I do still want to pick something from my TBR jar and then look for a book that I've owned for the longest book. So I don't know. I did read both my TBR book, which was 1,000 Naked Strangers in August, and I also read my old book, which was Dead Mountain by Donnie Eicher. So let's see what we can get up to this month. Really, the summer months are done and over with, but it's still over 100 degrees here, and I didn't get to all of the summery books that I really wanted to during the summer because my July was such a poo-poo month as far as reading. So I've got two holdovers for that. First one here is Camp Fear by Ellis. This is a point horror book, and it is about kids going to summer camp. It says for 7 years they've kept it hidden ever since that summer when they were campers together. So I guess it's the counselors. This summer, one camper didn't make it home alive. Tell me more. I'm dying to know. This is one of my favorite covers. One that I was immediately drawn to. One that I searched for a good copy. It didn't just fall into my hands, you know what I mean? Like I sought it out, and now I would like to read it. The second one here is Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. Now, I did read, what did I read by Josh Winning? I read another book that he wrote, and now I can't even picture what it looks like or what it was. But I know that I did not like it very much. And it was a bummer because I think, it was something with like a movie. It was something with a movie, and it had a reel of film on the front, but I can't remember what it was called. So I think that one came out before this. Either way, I'd like to give this a try because typically I do give authors more than one try before I decide that I don't want to read their books. Also, I Burn the Negative. That's what the book was called. Also, I got this, I believe, in a Nightworms subscription before I had read and realized that I didn't like Burn the Negative. So this one does seem more up my alley, although I do like the movie trope thing. But this one is about rich people or people with a public image or people with influence who've done something wrong, and now they have to go to image rehabilitation summer camp. What do they call them? Not a resort, but a retreat, kind of. This is about Willow, who is a sitcom star until she has a mishap. She's been drinking too much, and now she is sent to this camp. People start dying. It's a summer slasher, and I hope it's a good one. I'm also rereading, not for one of my 50 favorites this month, because I do have a different one planned for that, but I really want to reread My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones because I haven't read the rest of the Angel Lake trilogy, and like, what is wrong with me? I know what's wrong with me. It's that I'm like neurotic or something, but I really do feel like I need to reread this before I go on, because despite remembering for the most part the very plot of this book, I still feel the need, because there's a lot of detail in here, to reread it before I move on. So I'm going to do that. I'm gonna hang out with Jade Daniels once more, and then maybe this month, or maybe in October, or maybe in November, read some more of the trilogy. I'm really honestly like terrible at reading series, and I don't want to reread Chainsaw again and then wait 2 years, 3 years again and then be like, well, I've got to read Chainsaw before I read the other ones. I just like need to stop doing that kind of shit. It's so annoying. So then I was thinking, I haven't read an anthology in a while, and I picked up Lullabies for Suffering. It was just the top one on the pile of my anthologies. I don't know who this is edited by, but it includes people, it includes authors such as Gabino Iglesias, Keelan Patrick Burke, Carolyn Kepnes, Mark Matthews, and I read one of his books last October and I didn't really like it, but other people too. So anthologies, sometimes I really like them and sometimes I don't. And then my last pick is Rainbow Black by Maggie. Thrash, this is another book I meant to read back in April for Old School April, and I didn't get around to it, but I really would like to read this. It is a story that I believe has dual timelines. It follows a character who is an adult now but had things happen in her past. Her parents were accused of this horrible thing surrounding like satanic panic in the 90s? In 1990. So now she's like tried to hide that part of her past, but I don't know. Stuff is coming up. I don't know. All right, now my TBR Star Jar pick. I have like 2 months of books to put in here that I haven't. Yellow again. I got Yellow last month and it was nonfiction. Let's see what this is. I did also like a couple months ago go through and take all the stars that I've read out. Oh man, this is a big book. This is a big book that I want to read. I just don't think that this month is a good month for it. It's Pioneer Women. I can't remember what the author's name is. Let me go fetch it. So this is Pioneer Women by Joanna L. Stratton. I picked this up at a library book sale. I became kind of fascinated with this after I wrote a research paper for a history class on, the class was Women in American History, and I chose to write this research paper on like why women would want to become homesteaders and own land on their own, which was like something where previously women really couldn't own land in America, and this afforded them this huge opportunity for multiple reasons, right? This was during westward expansion in like the mid to late 1800s, and I read a lot about it and watched a lot of things about it and became kind of fascinated with it. And so when I saw this, it was like, oh, this is perfect. This is right up in my weird thing that I like to learn about wheelhouse. So this is a large book and it's a nonfiction book. It's, well, I guess it's just about 300 pages. Less than that if you don't include the, I don't know, the sources, I guess this is. So maybe I'll just see what I can get done with this. Maybe just read a little bit here and there, and maybe it'll just take me a few months to finish it. And now, my last random pick, I use this 10-sided die I have, and I roll a die. I count from where my last pick was, and then whatever shelf I land on that has unread books at least, I find the book that I've owned for the longest on the shelf, and I fucking read it. So, last month's pick was Dead Mountain by Donnie Eicher. I really, really liked that book. And we rolled a 9. So I'm going to count from 9 and see what shelf we end up with. My tripod is crooked, but I did land on this shelf here. It's a horror shelf right here, and I have to change my battery, but I'm gonna look at these and look at my, I probably have to look at my little TBR journal thingy that I have to see what on this shelf I've owned for the longest, because I really don't fucking know. Believe it or don't. This was completely unplanned on my part, but the book that I've owned for the longest that usually rests on that shelf is Take the Long Way Home by Brian Keene. I've owned this since 2016 or 17, and it would have been on that shelf. But I took it off because it was with my novellas that I'm planning on picking from for Halloween-a-thon. So this is actually so serendipitous, so perfect. I swear to God this was unplanned, but I have owned this for quite a while and I haven't read it. This is about how people all across the world are suddenly vanishing in the blink of an eye. Now there are 3 men who, it says, were just trying to get home when it happened. Now they find themselves left behind, wishing they'd disappeared too. Trapped in the ultimate traffic jam, they watch as civilization collapses. Okay, I don't want to read any more of that because, like, I kind of don't want to know any more than that. That sounds really interesting. Don't remember exactly why I bought this, but it must have been around the time when I was buying more of Brian Keene's stuff. And for the most part, I like his stuff. There's been a few I haven't really liked, some that I have. So hopefully this will be one that I really enjoy. That kind of honestly makes up for that big chunk in Pioneer Women book that I also accidentally randomly picked. Well, those are the books that I'm planning on reading at some point in September, at least until Halloween-a-thon starts, which is, again, September 22nd, and it runs through October 31st. At this point, filming this, I'm not sure if I will have my Halloween-a-thon thing up already or if I will be uploading it after I edit and upload this. But either way, I will leave a link to Kelsey, Slime and Slasher's announcement, because this is her beautiful little baby that she birthed herself, and we're just helping her take care of it a little bit because, you know, every parent needs a little bit of a helping hand, a helping claw, because it's Halloween. So make sure you watch her announcement video if you're at all interested. It's such a really fun event. This is only the 2nd year. I had such a fun time last year, like really indulging and doing all the spooky, Halloween-y, fun fall activities that I want to do, and it was really so fun. So highly encourage that. But that's what I've got planned for early September. Thank you for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.